One more story for today. This is the one Leonard didn't want to cover, and Uncle Blackleaf will cover all the stories for you. So for our story, we have judges explains no jail deal for ex NYPD cops with sex with the suspect. The Brooklyn judge who gave zero jail time to two former NYPD officers, despite their admitting they had sex with a teen in their custody, declared in court that both sides had committed crimes. Prosecutors had asked Brooklyn Supreme Court Justice Danny Chun to send ex-cops to the slammer for 1 to 3 years. But the judge said from the bench that while the cooks took a bribe, from an in-custody suspect, who they then set free, the accuser could also be charged with offering a bribe. In this particular case, the other party offering the bribe could also be charged and also could be guilty of offering the bribe or giving the bribe. Since there are criminal activities on both sides, however, there's one critical difference here. Both defendants before me are police officers, and police officers are sworn to uphold a higher standard of ethical code, behavior, or higher standard, period, than other people engaging in criminal activity. Chun notes that the cops were originally charged with 50 counts, including rape and kidnapping, um, after she was arrested for drug possession in Coney Island and then assaulted as she was handcuffed, helpless in the van. Every violent felony was dismissed, he said, referring to the prosecutor's decision in March to drop the rape and kidnapping case after uncovering what they called troubling inconsistencies in the testimony of the accused, who had spoken publicly about the case under the alias of Anna Chambers. As I understand it from other articles, there were problems with cell phone records and video records and other inconsistencies in the testimony as the basis for why it was dropped. The cops wound up indicted on 11 lesser charges of bribery and official misconduct. Those are the raps they pleaded guilty to on Thursday, and the judge in turn sentenced them to 5 years probation when they returned to court. The credibility of the victim or the complainant in this case was seriously questionable at best. He can see there was a very compelling scientific evidence behind the prosecution's case in which semen was recovered and semen was recovered from the person who was assaulted. However, I could also see the possibility that a juror or trier of fact could just come back with convictions of just misdemeanors. So, given the possibility and given both defendants have resigned from the police force and will accept a felony conviction, will accept a sentence of 5 year probation, this court feels it would not be unjust or unfair to offer a sentence without jail time on the police. I don't know. I don't have a strong enough opinion one way or another, given the facts as we have them here. So we do know that there was some sex between these cops and a person in their custody, and the person was a teen, and so there's all kinds of problems there, as I'm sure you can appreciate. Um, but as noted here, if it was the person who made the offer, it's bribery. It's all other kinds of things. So the judge in saying no jail time. I don't know. I don't know if I would do that if I were in that position or not. I'm happy that they pled guilty to misconduct and other felonies. I'm happy they're no longer cops. I'm happy being be convicted felonies. They can't carry guns anymore, so they can't be cops anymore. So I think all things considered, it's a reasonable verdict. And it does go to show that why it's important that these things be investigated, because they initially were charged with 50 crimes, and then a lot of them fell apart because of all these inconsistencies with cell phone records, video records, and other evidence that rendered the testimony unreliable. So that is that, I guess.